Thank you very much, especially all my friends. I had no idea you would all come here. Diane, I simply gave the invitation out of courtesy. I never thought she'd come all the way from California, just for that, or the Gravino sisters. I'm happy they're all here.
We love you, Ken.
Thank you. Just to speak real quick about Larry Fuller, we was talking about dancers over 40. He hired me when he knew I was over 40. I mean, it was like he had no idea. He had no idea I would be working for the next 20 years for him, but that was only because I at first started out assisting him with Evita, and then he dropped out to do more Broadway shows. He and Hal were still doing Broadway shows. So it wound up Ruth Mitchell and me, and then Ruth Mitchell dropped out when she started with Phantom, and then I ended up doing them on my own. I would direct, say, visual direction, Harold Prince, visual choreography, Larry Fuller, restaged by me. And that's how I started going all over the world and doing all of these by myself. So I thank Larry again for hiring me. I was the assistant stage manager, the dance captain, and the swing. So I kind of knew the whole show. Just real quick about me, Dancers Over 40, I think is a really wonderful organization because of what it does. I always call it, I say it's like Alcoholics Anonymous for people who've become 40. They realize that they're not the only ones in that position. And they used to get every job they went to, and suddenly they get typed out. Particularly the girls. I mean, luckily the guys can last a little bit longer. But I one time did a industrial show that took me to Vegas, and I auditioned, I got a job, and I stayed 6 years in Vegas as a production singer dancer. And there they were much more conscious of physical looks. So when I came back later, I said, if I ever get another Broadway show, I'm going to stick it till the end. And after I did Follies, luckily John Mineo left Pippin, and I replaced John Mineo, and I stayed 6 years. And I thought that was going to be my last. And instead I did Ballroom on the 20th Century and then Evita, and then lasted 20 more years after that. I think that's a tribute to Dancers Over 40, in that you can hire somebody over 40 and they can do a good job for you. Alan Johnson, from California, I went to a party at his house and he said, Larry was very lucky to have somebody like me working for him. So I felt good about that because I was a little embarrassed at being older and still working, that much. Also want to say about the Corvinas that I must thank Margaret Krask, who's not here anymore, or also her parents, Alfredo Corvino, for my training. If I had not studied all that time, I mean, I went to ballet class every day. And I just want to say one thing. When I went to my first lesson with Margaret Krask at the Old Met, I had done like 5 Broadway shows. So I went to the professional class. I mean, you were supposed to go to professional class, and didn't introduce myself or anything. She let me do a few things on the floor, and finally I was doing Renaissance on the floor, and she walked over to me and said, "Oh, you poor thing. Well, do the best you can and talk to me after class. In the meantime, try and keep your hip a little steady." So I went to her after class because I liked it was something different, and I liked it what it was. It wasn't all force. And I said, "You asked me to talk with you," and she said, "Oh, you're the boy who's in such trouble." She said, "Well, I can't really help you in this class," meaning the professional class. She said, "But I can't keep you out of it. You have one of those cards or something, a union card. If you had a union card, you could take the professional class." She said, "But if you really want me to help you, you're gotta come to the intermediate class." And so I went to the intermediate class for a year before she let me come to the professional class. And eventually jumped 2 more years, and she said, the people, all my friends from London are coming over to watch a class. I want some of my better pupils to be in it. Make sure you're there tomorrow.